Hey folks, I'm up here in northern Arizona and I want to show you a new trick that I've been using the last couple times I've gone camping with my Kodiak tent. And what you see there on the ground is a Slumberjack tent tarp, which really hooks up to your vehicle. And I'm going to show you how I've been using this on my Kodiak tent. And before I get started on that, you can see I've got my tent laid out ready to go, but before we stand it up, that's when we need to hook up the Slumberjack to that tension bar that goes across the top of the Kodiak. And the other thing that I've figured out that's kind of important is, as I back up here, I find a couple of trees that are out in front of it. Just makes it a little simpler with the setup. You can see I've got a tree here and a tree here, and we're gonna use that to tie some ropes up that are part of this Slumberjack. So, okay, here's what comes in the sack. You can see one of these poles that I've already gotten myself ready, prepped. Then it comes with another one that's broken down, so that all fits in there, and a couple of stakes, and then multiple of these yellow long cords. And all that I've done so far is I've got a cord there, which we're gonna hook up to that tree. And then I've laid this out, kind of prepping it. And you can kind of see where the tree is and where this other tree is, and then I've got a line there. And then what I've done is I've just brought it up to the tension bar. And the trick with this is, again, this is made for a vehicle, and somehow they would hook up to your roof rack or something like that, but we're just going to snap these in across this tension bar. There's a couple of them. And then on the ends, depending on where you're camping, it's kind of, this I think is meant to go down to the tire or somewhere on your fender of the vehicle. But it also has a clip. So what I've been doing is just clipping it on the tension bar. But, you know, depending on if you had some kind of tree close by, you could probably actually get this to stretch a little bit also, come up with some idea. So, but the way I'll show you the way that I've done it the last few times. Okay, so you can see how I've hooked these up. Just connected that around the tension bar all the way across. And one other important thing that I want to point out is this is the tarp that comes with the Kodiak canvas, and you want this on the back side. The side, you can certainly go through this side, but the main idea is that I'm going to be using this Slumberjack tarp on the side that I intend to go in and out, so that way I've got shade for this particular trip. But if you've got weather, you've at least got a little bit of a vestibule where you can go out there and cook, and you can store, you know, your cooler and stuff like that. Okay, so we're just going to hook this up just like we normally would. So you can see we've set this up, the tent, like we normally would, and now we just got to do a little bit of cleanup. I'll adjust that later. We're just trying to get it, the initial setup. Okay, so we've got that one set up there temporarily. Now we're going to go ahead and get this one set up. And all I'm trying to do is get it around here so I can put that middle pole up. And potentially this could work right here. It's just a little bit low. So I'll go ahead and set that pole up, and we'll see what this does. Might be too high, too taut. We'll find out though. Nope, that looks pretty good. And so at this point, I need to get another one of these yellow ropes, put it in there, and then bring it down so I can get this to tighten up, and put some lines on the sides and get that tautened up, and you can kind of see how this is going to start to shape up. So let me get another rope and we'll put this on. So you can see I've got one of the lines there, and I'm just going to secure this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over to the side, the rope, so I've got a little bit more room when I'm walking. What we're going to do, these lines came with the tent. So I think I'm going to use these to try and pull these sides down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to set up the other side with one of these and then grab the hammer and some stakes. Okay, here's my final setup. We tied it to the tree right off the bat, but at the end what I did is I pulled this side down, give me a little bit better shade in the afternoon. The sun's going to come across this way, so got a little bit better shade. And then what I did is I ran on a second line, which comes right here, ties into this existing line. So I got two of them kind of straight across, and you can see I've set up my cook system. I got my barbecue grill here, and then I've got my Tupperware, my cooking Tupperware, which has got my stove and all my pots and pans and essentials, and then I'll just be able to set it up right here and cook right here.